welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg. This is Bachelorette Talks, and today we are talking about episode 7 in Latifah of Hannah's season. That intro is always such a mouthful, but we have powered through yet another week of The Bachelorette, and I'm here to tell you my recap, thoughts, rants, all of that good stuff. So if you don't want to miss out on future videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on so you know when the video is live. Give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying this so far. I have so much to say, and now I have to figure out how I'm gonna organize and say that. Normally when I start these videos off, I do the recap and then I go and discuss stuff that was in last week's video, new developments, or like comments that you guys have left me. But I can't hold it in. I need to get this off my chest now in the beginning of the video, so here we go. I was not alone in thinking that last week's episode was completely terrible and a waste of time. And I'm also not alone that Garrett is also annoying AF, so thank you guys for commenting. Leave me comments down below, discuss it in next week's video, or if you have any tea to spill, leave that in the comments so we can have a discussion on that. Speaking of tea, wait, I should actually grab my tea. We need to talk about Jed. Normally on my channel, I don't seek out spoilers. If I happen to come across something, then I discuss it. And unless if you live under a rock, I seriously don't think that you missed this. But in case you did, Jed is just as shady as I thought he was. First of all, it's never a good sign when a musician comes onto the show, or an actor, somebody that's trying to get into the scene. It's just bad vibes. So then on his, his one-on-one with Hannah, he used the word platform, and he even admitted that he originally came on the show to just use it as an advertisement for himself. But after spending time with her and having this day with her, he like changed his mind because he actually might have like feelings for her now. Bullshit. So anyways, it came out that right before the show started filming, as per usual, as this seems to happen just about every season of The Bachelor and Bachelorette, he had a girlfriend who he just ghosted. She had no idea until the show started and was like, that's where he went. So yeah, Jed sucks, just like I thought he did. Normally, I'm a sucker for a musician, so I get the appeal that Hannah has. But I saw through this one like right away, and it's like awful sitting here having to watch the rest of the season knowing that he's awful. I'm also interested if they kind of took that break last week to re-edit some of the stuff in the show to show him in a bad light. I don't think they did though. I mean, that would be like a lot of re-editing to do, so I don't think that that's a possibility. I just think that they just saw drama with Luke and took it and ran with it, and that's why we had that horrendous episode last week. So anyways, yeah, Jed had a girlfriend and he sucks ass. So another person on the list that I dislike. Let's get into the actual recap though. What are your thoughts on Jed? Do you still think, like, what he did was okay? Like, do you like him still? Is there like anything going for him in his favor? Let me know, because I like to see all sides of everything. So another thing that you can do to get through these drama-filled episodes, because it was spoiled to us basically by the previews that we're stuck with Luke until the end, and he's just the worst. So if you feel now kind of how I do, like maybe I need to drink to get through these episodes, I have a drinking game for you, and it will probably get you blacked out drunk. So let me lower myself down a little bit. It'll probably get you blacked out drunk. So, I mean, is there really a loss to this? Anytime somebody says the phrase, stay in your lane or stay in my lane, or they talk about staying in lanes and swerving into each other's lanes, take a shot. And I mean, if you did that with this episode, you would have been like blacked out, gone by the end of it, because I'm so sick of hearing that phrase. That was just like a little side note if you want to make a game out of it. So the episode starts off, they're in Latifah, and she decides to go on a one-on-one with Garrett, and it just says, can I trust our love? And we kind of saw this coming. I feel like they're giving like almost too much away in the previews, because it's like not is fun to like see things unfold, but we know that she's gonna go bungee jumping naked. So I think how the show works is that they give them a list of places they would like to go and probably like a list of activities that they would be open to. But at the end of the day, production is the end all be all, and they have the final say in what goes on and what happens. That was very obvious in Colton's season. He didn't seem thrilled about a lot of the places they were in. He was not very into or thrilled about a lot of the activities that they did. So that was kind of obvious. So it was really no surprise. Like, I believe Hannah when she said that she had no idea that it was going to be naked bungee jumping. I believe she knew that it was going to be bungee jumping, but yeah, she didn't know about the naked part. What were your thoughts on that? I mean, it's definitely adventurous, that's for sure. And I thought that their date was actually cute. I like their date. I like watching them interact with each other. See, at first I liked Garrett, and then like he just started to annoy me just as bad as Luke annoys me, because the two of them at each other makes me dislike Garrett so much. I was so over him, so annoyed, so sick of him last episode. I was like, he needs to go. I don't want him on my TV anymore. I don't want Luke on my TV anymore. They're both awful. But seeing Garrett on this date with Hannah like made me go back over to the side of liking Garrett. Like, seeing him interact with her, like, it was cute, it was adorable. I really like their connection that they have. But Garrett inside the house with Luke, I just like want to strangle him and want him gone. So is anybody else torn with Garrett? Are you like for Garrett? Are you against Garrett? Let me know, because I'm clearly conflicted. Basically, after the date ends, Garrett, you know, in typical Bachelor fashion, they go back to the house, they brag about their date, and they're like, I'm low-key not bragging, but they are. And he says that they went naked bungee jumping, and all the guys are kind of like, why the hell are you telling us this? They're all just kind of like, which I get it. I mean, somebody that I was dating went bungee jumping naked with somebody else, I'd be like, damn, I wish I was on that date. So of course, like, the comedy in this is just like watching the look on Luke's face, and it's just like meltdown in 3, 2, 1. And he's like so in denial, and he's like, he's making it up. She would never be naked. Like, I touched on this last episode, and every single time this subject of nakedness or like sex comes up, I'm gonna try to refrain myself, because I could probably do like a 30-minute rant on it. But he is such a hypocrite. He is admittedly been a player in the past, hooked up with a lot of girls, was saved by Jesus, so now he's like, I'm gonna be a virgin and again until I'm married, and whoever I'm with needs to be exactly the same way as me, and that's just so wrong and so judgmental. You shouldn't expect the person that you're with to be exactly like you, and you shouldn't be judging them for doing things that you used to do. Why did you sign up for a show where one woman is dating 30 men? If you have an issue with her kissing other guys, possibly hooking up with other guys, being in a compromising position with her, why are you on the show? Why'd you sign up for it? That's what people do on the show. So anyways, for him to sit there and just like, I don't necessarily want to call it slut shaming, but like that's essentially like what he was doing. He was like very like upset and agitated and just very like down talking Hannah because she did something naked, when it's none of his business. It doesn't concern him at the end of the day. Like, yes, all these other guys are dating her, but at the end of the day, it's none of their business. It doesn't concern them in that sense. So like, I get like being like a little like wow about it, but like Luke obviously took it too far, and this issue is just something that continues throughout the rest of the episode. One thing that I have in my notes I didn't say while I was talking was that on their date, Hannah was really impressed with Garrett when he showed up after being hesitant, and they talked a lot about rejection and fear. So I think that they just really strengthened their connection. Garrett said that he was starting to fall in love with Hannah. We're like getting that point in the show, like where everyone's like, I'm starting to fall for you. So yeah, I mean, I liked him until he got back in the house. So moving along. On the group date, we have Mike, Jed, Tyler, Dustin, Luke, Connor, and Dylan. So here's the thing. There's 7 guys on this group date, but it was really Jed, Tyler, and Luke that were like really present on this date. I feel bad because it's basically like Dylan, Dustin, Connor, and like even Mike, it's like they don't exist on this show anymore. Like there's like 0 camera time. Mike has like a couple seconds of camera time, But it's just like, I want to see more of these other guys, right? So anyway, they go to the marketplace and they're like trying all this foreign food, having a good time. And Tyler, oh my God, I love Tyler. He comes up, he was so sweet and thoughtful, got her flowers and was like, here you go. Yeah, he's kind of making the other guys look bad, but I like Tyler, Team Tyler. I'm gonna say it right here and right now. If Tyler isn't the one at the end of the show who ends up with her, and he's not the next Bachelor, I'm gonna have problems. Like, I will want to riot. I will be so upset if he's not the next Bachelor, if he doesn't win this. Like, he's amazing. Tyler is just, especially in this episode, he shines so bright. I mean, the bar is pretty low, but even if the bar wasn't low, like, he is exceptional in this episode, and he has been the last couple episodes. Right now, Tyler is like #1 in my ranking system. So Hannah kind of awkwardly brings up like, oh, hey, yeah, like on my date, like you might have heard, but like I was naked when we went bungee jumping, but it's like a tradition, so it's cool. So like, I want to let you guys know, but like also like I don't want you guys to be like mad at me. And like they just like, they look so awkward and uncomfortable, and it was just like such an awkward moment to be like, yeah, like one of the guys like saw me naked basically, but like it's cool though. So I mean, you have to give her props because a lot of people could probably say like she didn't even need to bring it up, but I think that she's just being very transparent, and that may or may not be necessary. Do you think it's necessary for her to be that transparent with the rest of the guys? Or do you like her honesty and being truthful with them? But I just feel like the pressures of TV, the pressures of society, pressure of like the other men, she just kept saying over and over and over again, like it wasn't sexual, it wasn't sexual. And it's just like in my mind, I'm like, so what if it was? It shouldn't be that big of a deal. That's just my opinion. So when they split off and they're having their individual time, Jet just advertises himself being like, I'm a musician, look at me, watch me play my guitar, watch me play my piano. Hannah's eating it up, poor girl. While this is happening, Luke starts bitching and Tyler is there and he sticks up for her, and he basically says like, whatever, it sucks, but it is what it is. Like, you shouldn't be hard on her. Like, it's really none of your business. Like, Tyler is there to put Luke in his place and kind of tell him to shut the F up. And I was just like, oh, more points for Tyler. He's great. Now we have Luke sitting down with Hannah, and I just like, I feel so bad for her because you can just tell, like, I get where, like, the position that she's in, because, like, love can be blind when you're in, like, a negative and toxic relationship with, like, whether that's somebody that you're in love with, somebody that you're dating, someone that's a close friend, a family member. It can be a bit blinding for when you're in a bad situation, and it's just, like, heartbreaking to watch her be in these situations. And it's like, I'm the same way. Like, if somebody talked to me the way Luke talked to me, I would be thinking about it later, because, you know, I like to really process things. So I would be like Hannah and be like, hey, what you said the other day, not cool. Like, that's the position I would be in. But it's just so hard watching her in that moment, and just like the way he puts her down, seeing like her body language, the way she's reacting. And then even at the end of the rose ceremony, or like before the rose ceremony, Chris Harrison's like, she was very emotional, and it's just like, dude, he's stressing you the F out. And I feel like, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So Luke starts off the conversation like, have you ever been cheated on? You get that feeling in your stomach. And Hannah's like, yeah. And she like thinks that they're gonna have like this great connecting moment. And he's like, well, that's what you did to me when you were naked bungee jumping. And it's just like, he shamed her so much. He talked down to her. He was manipulative. He was disrespectful. He basically insinuated that she made a boneheaded mistake, and that she like that, like, oh, where I am in my life, if I ever had a guy talk to me like that, I would be like, you can get the hell out because we are done here. Like, no, I feel so bad that she had to sit there and be lectured and talked down to like that. And he basically told her that she's an embarrassment for his family now because she was naked in front of another guy. And I'm just like, dude, like, what in your brain makes you think that, like, you're right, or like it's okay for you to say that? I could not believe what I was watching. Like, I don't know how she just didn't tell him off. Like, I don't get how she sat there. I think like she was in shock, but I still like, I don't know how she carried on like the rest of the day. So after she sits down and talks with Luke, it's time to hand out the rose. And It's mean, but like I always laugh because like they pan at the person that thinks that they're getting a rose and they're like, and then they say someone else and they're just like, that was Jed this week. Jed totally thought he was getting the rose, but I mean, my man Tyler got it, rightfully so. So you go, Tyler. Good for you. Luke also thought he was getting a rose. Like, I don't know, like, where in Luke's brain he thought, like, that conversation was, like, good and, like, productive and, like, helpful to their journey. I don't understand his brain, man. He is really interesting. So, yeah, I also wrote here, Mike, Dustin, Dylan, and, like, none of them got airtime on this date, so I really wanted to see more of Dustin. I like Mike a lot, and it looks like he is going to make up for lost time in the next week's episode. But yeah, bummed me out. Dylan, I could do without. I wanted to see more of Dustin. We got to see like zero of his personality. Connor had like that cute moment on the 101 when Hannah was sick, and like that's all that we've seen of him so far. So next up is the one-on-one with Peter, and in my opinion, after watching the show, seeing the connection with everyone, as much as I love Tyler, I think right now Peter is #1 in her book. They have that really great, strong, like physical connection. They seem to have a really great emotional connection. They just seem to be like on it. So they had their little romantic spa day where they got it on a little bit, and Hannah's just like so infatuated with Peter. And that's where I'm confused about Luke, because it's like, how can you have that connection with somebody like Peter, or like have somebody treat you so sweetly like Tyler, and then there's Luke? Like, how do you keep that around, man? I don't know. Hannah and Peter definitely have the biggest, deepest connection out of anyone on the show. I think Peter is gonna make it to the end. I hope so. I hope Tyler does too. And the way she's infatuated with Jed, he probably will too. And we know Luke's gonna make it, so is that the final four? Is it gonna be Peter, Tyler, Luke, and Jed? What are your predictions? Now we have all the guys sitting in the room, you know, talking, like it's just like production, like it's so cheesy and like fake at this point. You could tell like they're like, oh, let's talk about how you feel about her going out with other guys, while Peter's on his date speculating if he's gonna get a rose, and they're all just kind of talking about how it upsets him that she is making more romantic connections with other people. And Tyler gets more brownie points because he says you have to trust her and trust that she's doing best. He's not talking down to anyone. He's not saying, yeah, this person sucks, why are they still here? Or like, it upsets me that she's doing XYZ. He is like full on supportive. He gets it. Like, he's probably the one person in the history of the show that actually gets it. And he's just like, yeah, this may suck, but like, it is what it is. Like, I love Tyler. But yes, it was basically Jed that brought up that whole conversation, and basically I feel like Jed is threatened by Peter, rightfully so. And then Jed goes and contradicts himself by saying like, yeah, we just gotta be cool and block it out, when like before Tyler spoke, you were kind of like ragging on Peter and ragging on the whole process. And then he contradicts what he says by being cool and blocking it out. As soon as Peter walks in the room, he sees the rose, Jed gets up, he's all pissed off, puts his little jacket on, grabs his guitar, and goes serenades Hannah. More promo, dude, and it's just like ridiculous. I know it's because I think of Jed in a negative light now, but the lyrics to the song, like, I can be your Mr. Right, and then he just goes, Hannah, 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 I would never tell a lie. You're a liar though. I want to come inside. And I'm like, you're supposed to be this amazing songwriter, and that's the best you can do, and you are a liar because you had a girlfriend, you ghosted her. Liar. Liar, liar, liar. Hannah eats it up. Meanwhile, back at the house, we have a little showdown between Garrett and Luke, and I am just over the rest of the episode at this point because it's more dad lectures from Garrett. That's how I see him. He's just like a dad lecturing little kid. As annoying as Luke is, it's just like, you're just as annoying at this point, and I am automatically like flip back to the other side of Garrett is annoying the piss out of me and I want him gone. I don't like him anymore. Why does he have to act like this? He just has to act like he's better than Luke, and it's just so annoying. And I feel like if Luke wasn't there, there would be somebody else he would be acting better than. What are, like, do you agree with that? Let me know. They're just, Luke and Garrett are just both man children, honestly. That's what they are. So it's right before the rose ceremony. Hannah comes to the room and is like all upset, clearly upset, and goes, Luke, I need to talk to you. And Luke's like, okay, I would love to. And it's just like, bro, seriously, he's so clueless. Like, his mind has to be empty or full of rocks or something, because it's like, do you not read body language? Could you not tell that she's upset? Like, I don't get it. Like, if somebody walks into the room and like doesn't have a smile on their face and they look visibly upset, like, why? Yeah, I would love to. Like, even the rest of the guys were like, oh, she's gonna go tell Luke off, at least she's putting it together. Like, everyone else gets it but him. So she sits down, and I'm shocked because Hannah got out to say everything that she wanted without him mansplaining her. So I was kind of impressed a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is some progress. But nope, as soon as he goes, can I start talking now? Anytime Hannah would rebuttal him, he would interrupt her and mansplain over her, and I don't get why she didn't tell him to go home. And again, Hannah's sitting there like, it wasn't sexual, it wasn't sexual, and I'm just like, so what if it was, girl? And then she says the same thing. She's like, but even if it was, like, it's really none of your business. Like, you don't have a right to act like this. You don't own me. Like, you go, girl. Like, I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself. It's just not his place to shame her for doing that. So how she just didn't send him home right then and there is beyond me. So this week we have Dustin and Dylan going home. So we have 7 guys left, and I honestly feel like this is a point in the show where it's a turning point. Things are getting serious. It's going to be like less stupid petty drama. Typically, production wants you to keep someone on for entertainment purposes. This is about the time where they're cool with that person dropping off, because it's like things are getting serious and we don't need someone that's just clowning around, sticking it out to the end. So in my opinion, it's not production that wants her to keep Luke around. For some reason, she wants to keep Luke around, and she keeps him around until fantasy suites, and I don't see it. Like, unless they edited it out and we're just seeing all the bad, like, I just don't see what there is that's redeeming about it. I get that they had like a really hot and heavy like initial attraction. He got the first impression rose, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, at this point, like, what is there to salvage from that? I don't understand. So after the rose ceremony, Jed just talks about how fake Luke is and how he isn't real, which is like kind of hilarious, because it's like, you're not real either, bro. You just as fake. You may not be as annoying, but you're a liar and you're fake and you're not real either. You're there for self-benefit. You don't really care about Hannah. I don't care if Jed makes it to the end and he does have true feelings for her. The fact that he went onto the show with ill intentions, not it for me. So we have Jed, Mike, Connor, Luke, Garrett, Tyler, and Peter continuing on. I am so excited for next week's episode. I feel like this week, at least less than half of the episode was dedicated to Luke drama, so I feel like we're slowly moving past that, thank goodness. Let me know your thoughts and predictions down below. Again, spoil-free zone. If you know who the winner of the show is, please don't leave that in the comments. But anything else you have about the show, leave it down below. Let's get a discussion going. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, listening to me rant about shitty men that are awful people. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment down below, turn on notification bells. If you want to check out my other social media, that is also listed down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.